Hi there. This is Pastor Curtis from churchonthego.ca, and with me today is my friend Jenny Harrison, all the way from Nova Scotia. Hello, Jenny.
Hello, Curtis.
Good to see you. I thank you for joining me today.
No problem. My
Um,
pleasure.
you and I were discussing recently uh, that it's important to engage kids in Sunday school and in church, even online. My understanding is you're still doing those drawing with Jenny videos. Is that true?
That is true.
How is that going?
It's going well.
What's your latest lesson on?
The Good Shepherd, and after that, I'll be doing the videos. Maybe four of the videos after that will be about how Jesus is a good shepherd versus that show what makes him a good shepherd to us,
Right on. And
the
what's the
sheep.
point of your draw? It's drawing with Jenny,
Yeah,
and I think in that video you mentioned that drawing is a tool. Can you explain that to me?
drawing is a tool to help us understand Scripture better. By drawing it, you can see it in a little bit of a different way and understand it possibly a little bit more.
Right, because when you're drawing something, you have to think about what you're drawing, right?
That's right.
And then you keep it really simple so that anybody can draw,
Right.
which is really nice. So I want to thank you for your work reaching out to children. I know that your church, Central Baptist, appreciates your work with the children. You do online videos and you post them to the Facebook group. Is that right?
That's
For
correct.
for Central Baptist in Texas.
Yeah,
And then I work with youth in person. I work with older youths in Church on the Go every week. And but Jenny and I were thinking about what are some fun games we can do that teach the Bible, and we thought about a lot of you older ones will probably remember Hangman. In school, we used to play that in public school. We never thought about it, but me and Jenny are thinking that seems awful negative. And the game is you guess a word, and then if you get it wrong, the guy gets closer to being hanged. It's kind of like a negative thing, right? So I thought, well, why don't we find an alternative? And I'm thinking, every time you guess a word wrong, you lose something. And then, was it you, Jenny? What did you suggest?
Um, I don't know
I,
if I
I think
remember
you I
exactly,
think you
but
suggested I think you suggested that what if we do the reverse?
right, do the reverse. So make it positive instead of negative.
Right.
Help us
And
make
so I
us
think
gain
it
something instead of lose something.
yeah, that's kind of cool. So what if we came up with a word game that is not so negative or controversial, but it's biblical, right? So then I got thinking, well, what can we gain? Well, Jesus tells the parable of the talents, doesn't he? And that's in Matthew 25. And verse 16, he tells of the man who gained 5 talents. That's money, right? A talent was a type of currency back then. And he gained 5 other talents with them. He traded and gained 5 talents. So we came up with this idea of the game of 5 talents. So it takes elements of uh, Hangman and what did you say? Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune. Who grew up watching Wheel of Fortune?
Oh no.
Hello. Um, but the point is that we're taking elements of these word games and putting a biblical spin on it. So we actually, in the course of an afternoon, just sort of came up with this idea that will engage children, especially older children that are able to do a little bit of math. So what we did is, yes, I said a word, math, right? Some people don't like math. So, but the point is that we call this game the game of 5 talents, and it will be good for teaching kids Bible verses. Uh, and so the goal of this game is to start with 5 talents. All right. Sorry, this is the rules. The rules is you start with 5 talents, and you can put it on a calculator, kind of like what I have on my screen here. 5 talents. I'm sorry if my camera is reversed. You may have to sort of just surmise that this isn't actually a 5, but I think my camera is reversed, so that's okay. Um, but you start with a 5 on a calculator. Your player, one of the players picks a Bible verse or two or three phrases, two or three words out of the Bible, and puts them down as spaces like this. Right? And it puts the spaces down. And then the other person takes turns guessing letters. And if the letter is in there, then what happens, Jenny?
They gain a talent.
They gain a talent. And what happens if that letter appears, let's say, 3 times in the phrase?
Then they gain 3 talents.
Nice. So if I get 3 talents, I would just push +3 equals, and I now have 8 talents. Okay, cool. Right? And then what happens if they don't get it right?
They would lose a talent.
They would lose 1 talent. You have to invest your talent to gain, right? So
Right.
you invest 1 talent, just like Jesus is teaching, you have to gain something with what he gives you, right? He doesn't want you to bury it in the ground. So you would put it underneath this line here. If the letter isn't in the game, isn't in the phrase, you would write it down here, and then you would subtract from here. You would go -1, right? And equals. And then you would be left with 7 talents. So the game continues as long as you have a talent left, right? The goal is, so each right guess awards 1 talent, each wrong guess loses 1 talent. And each time, if the letter appears more than once, then you gain 1 talent for each appearance. So the goal is to guess the word and gain talents before running out of talents. The other goal is to see how many talents you can gain, right? So we decided to put a spin on this, and so that's what it would look like. I was testing this out with Jenny, and we had I used Matthew 22:37, and you shall love the Lord your God. And she only guessed one letter wrong. She's really good at this game already. Yeah. And so she got 50 talents out of that. And you want to know how she got 50 talents? Tell them how you got 50 talents.
I just guessed the right letters. Mostly.
Yes, but then we put a little
right.
fun spin on it, right? And you
Right.
put 3 spaces. If you still have 3 empty tiles left, if there's still 3 empty spaces, you have the chance to take a wild guess. If you think you can guess it, then you have the chance to. You can risk a gain or a loss. You can gain if you guess the word and there's still 3 empty spaces. You can, if you guess the phrase right, you can double your talents.
Right.
Isn't that what you did?
Yes.
And you got your. What's
Yes.
that?
Oh, I was just thinking of how you gained some extra talents when it was your turn.
Right. So when I was playing the game, I gained extra talents because I guessed a letter. She played it. She picked a phrase, and I was trying to guess the words. And I actually gained a couple extra talents because the letter appeared twice, right?
And
But at
I
the end
only
of
had it in there once.
yeah, well, yeah, it's okay. You just have to learn, right?
Yeah.
We just practice until it makes it perfect. But so basically, this game goes that if they know what the phrase is and there's still 3 empty tiles, they can take a risk and guess what the phrase is and double their talents. But if they're wrong, then the talents are halved. They lose half their talents. All right, but the game can continue. So, but if there's only 2 spaces or less left, then if they guess the whole phrase, there's no extra reward because most of the spaces are filled in at that point, right? So anyway, we just thought we would share that with you because Jenny and I are both into working with youth, and we both use internet and we both use videos. So I thought I'd like to share that with you. We call it, and you're welcome to use this if you want for your youth or for your children. The game of 5 talents, and all you do is pick a Bible verse and let them guess at letters. And cell phones are fairly common these days. You just put it on a calculator, and then make it more fun that way. Did you have anything you wanted to add to that, Jenny?
Just that it's also a good way to learn Bible verses, not just about the 10 talents, but just learning the phrases that you get the other person to guess. You can learn a lot of Bible verses that way.
Yeah, pick Bible verses, pick phrases out of the Bible. It gets people to learn their Bible in a fun way. and you know, you want to engage children, you want to engage kids, and at the same time, we're teaching a biblical principle, because when God gives you talents, what does He want us to do with them?
Use them.
Use them, right? So I want to use my talents for the Lord, and I know, Jenny, you're certainly using your talents for the Lord. Your drawing talents, your music talents, and teaching talents. God is doing stuff with you, and it's pretty cool. But I want to encourage all of you that are watching right now on this video to use your talents, and you can come up with a fun word game too. And it started off with a problem. We were looking for fun things for children, and we didn't like the status quo. We didn't like Hangman. It was kind of negative, right? So we thought this was a really cool idea, and we just wanted to share this with you. So I hope you are all blessed. God bless you. And if you want to, you can subscribe to my channel, Curtis Alexander. I have teaching videos and music. You can subscribe to Jenny Harrison at her channel, which is Jenny Harrison, and she has a whole lot of Drawing with Jenny videos. She also has videos on devotional thoughts, and she has her testimony on there. So is there anything you want to say about your YouTube channel?
Nothing specific, just it's meant to encourage people in their walk with God, and to help them spiritually.
And help them spiritually. And you want to bless children with your drawing videos. So
Right.
yeah. Okay. So all right. Well, thank you for joining us today, Jenny. I appreciate that.
No problem.
And we'll talk again sometime soon with you folks out there. I hope you enjoyed this little video. This is a fun little gaming idea for kids, and all it takes is a couple of pieces of paper and a calculator. And you can have multiple people guessing, or you can have one person guessing, and you can have one person that's keeping score, and then that way you can actually learn Bible verses. And this is something you can do over the internet too. Like Jenny and I were testing it out because I'm in Newmarket, Ontario, and she's in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. You can do it over the internet. We know there's a lot of lockdown and stuff right now, but you can still do something, right? And whether you're blessing your family or you're blessing children in your church, we have the technology. We can go beyond. We can go beyond just, even if you can't meet in the four walls, you can still do online ministry. So anything else you want to add there?
Just that the internet can be used for good. There's a lot of bad ways the internet can be used, but this is just another example of how an internet can be used for God's glory.
Absolutely, 100%. So we're going to use the internet for God's glory, and just simple pen, paper, and calculator. Have a fun word game that they can feel rewarded. Because Jesus said to the one that was faithful, he's to the ones that were faithful, you who've been faithful in a little, I'm going to make you a ruler over much, right? So I hope this blesses you, all that have been listening, and God bless you. Once again, thank you, Jenny, for joining us.
No problem. Anytime.
Okay, we'll talk again soon. Have a great day. God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye.